Hello and welcome to Every Quarter YouTube channel. This is episode number 52 and the date is 29 September 2025. So I will hope to make this a very short video and in it I want to just share my thoughts on the increase in withholding tax rate on government securities. So if you are not aware by now, the Bank of Zambia has in the last few days made a public announcement in which they are informing the general public and all investors in government securities that with immediate effect, the withholding tax charged on government securities has been increased to 20% from 15%. So what this means is that as opposed to the 15% that was being charged on coupon interest that is earned from government bonds and on the discount income that is earned from treasury bills, the new tax rate that will be applied there is 20%. So there has been a 5% increase. The Bank of Zambia, according to this statement that I have on the screen, has further informed all investors and the general public that this tax increase will apply to all previously issued government securities. So any, for example, government bond that you currently hold, even if you bought it before this, the date on which this increase has been made, the subsequent coupons that you will get from there will be charged at 20%. So it will apply to all previously issued government bonds and will also obviously apply to the subsequent securities. So the one question that one begins to ask when when you read a notice like this, when you receive a notice like this, I think that the big question that is on people's minds, those who know something about bonds, is that is this not at variance with what we know bonds to be? We have marketed and we know bonds to be fixed income. We have been promised that when you invest in a bond and when you agree on the rate, you will be getting that amount of interest every year, every 6 months, all the way up to the end of the bond. So doesn't this increase in tax rate, which clearly will reduce the coupon that we eventually get, isn't this at odds? Isn't this at variance with that understanding of bonds as fixed income? So that's what I want to comment on. So before I get into commenting on that, I also want you to look at another document that Bank of Zambia normally publishes, not normally, always actually publishes every time there is a bond auction. So this is a prospectus. So the prospectus, I'll just bring it up on the screen. The prospectus is essentially a public announcement for a particular bond auction. You will see these prospectus documents on the Bank of Zambia website. They are also published in the print media whenever there is like a week or so before there is an auction. Okay, so in this document, Bank of Zambia invites applications from members of the public and investors, to invest in government bonds. Okay, so they specify when the bond will be and how you can go about submitting your application or your bid. Okay, and so it will state the different types of bonds that are on offer, what the maturity dates will be, and things like that. So in this document also, what the bond auction does, it will state the conditions for this bond. And there is one particular condition that I know people don't pay attention to, but it is very important. And if anything, um, this recent increase in withholding tax should, you know, open the minds of everyone out there when they're investing in these bonds to make sure that they read all the conditions. So I want to take you to section D of the conditions of this particular bond. So the prospectus that I'm showing you, I could have picked any prospectus and the point would still remain the same, but this particular one is from the recent issue. This is issue number 9 of 2025. So under the general conditions of this issue, if you look at general condition number 3, it states that coupon interest will be subject to withholding tax, currently at 15% and handling fee currently at 1%. So bonds, the coupons that you get from bonds, which you get every 6 months, um, it would tell you as part of the conditions that it will be subject to withholding tax and handling fee. But it is interesting how this is stated. It is not stated in a way that conveys to you that these rates will be fixed for the tenure of the bond. If you look at how exactly this condition is stated, it tells you that it will be subject to withholding tax, currently at 15%. I think that leaving room that rate might change, might increase, or reduce, and a handling fee of 1%, currently at 1%. Sorry. Also, leaving room. I think that this is a very smart way of Bank of Zambia, stating something and leaving room that the rates can increase. The tax rate and the handling fee can actually increase without violating any of these conditions. I think that's what I read through this. And this makes sense because I think that Bank of Zambia do not, from what I know, they are not the custodians of tax law. And it's not up to them to guarantee that the tax rate will remain the same. Because these taxes are subject to change, and also they also leave room for the handling fee to change. And so this is how this general condition is stated. So now let's go back to the notice that proposed the increase, and let's read it again in line with this particular condition, which doesn't guarantee a fixed tax rate or fixed handling fees. You will see that the increase doesn't look to be at variance with any of the conditions of the bonds. Okay, so it makes sense that it makes sense that the increase in withholding tax will also affect the previously issued government securities. As bad as this is for investors, I don't think that you can legitimately say that this has violated any of the conditions of the bonds, seeing that at no point in the prospectus do does Bank of Zambia guarantee that the handling fee or the tax rate will remain the same. What is guaranteed are the coupon rates, which you find in the bond results. So every at the end of the day, when the auction has been done, Bank of Zambia publishes the results of the bond, and it is those bonds. It is that that document that specifies what the the interest rate for the coupon will be. And that rate is what is guaranteed to be the same throughout the tenure of the bond. So we need to make this distinction. Government bonds, they guarantee a fixed coupon rate or a fixed interest rate that can never change. But there are no guarantees with respect to interests and the handling fee that is charged for each bond. So whichever tax rate and handling fee that will be applicable at any given time, that is what you expect to be charged on the coupons. So again, the interest rate for a bond is guaranteed and is fixed and will not change. If you bought a bond 2 years ago at interest rate 28% per annum, that will never change. But the tax that you are charged on that income may change, like we have been able to see in this public announcement. That's what I wanted to share with you, just a sort of clarification to anyone out there who may be having this question in their mind, and they may be having these concerns that the increase somehow violates the conditions that you find in the prospectus. I do not see any condition in the bond prospectus that has been violated, because what is the interest rate, sorry, the tax rates and the handling fees are never set out to be constant throughout the tenure of the bond. What is guaranteed not to change is the coupon rate. So you will still get the same income in terms of from the gross income will remain the same, the gross coupon will remain the same, and it will be charged at the same percentage that was set out in your bond. But the taxes that you have to pay on that bond may change. And in this particular, with respect to this particular public notice, with immediate effect, they have been increased to 20%. So that's it. I want to hear your comments and how you think this will affect your plans, how you think this will affect your portfolio, and how you intend to to respond to this. In terms of what other things you think that you can do to to offset some of the losses that you think you might be getting as a result of this increase with respect to taxes. Let me see those comments in the comment section. Until next time, when we have another informative video, it's bye from me.